All praises and glory goes to our mighty power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, salutations unto the legmen continually feeding the sheep of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, in sincerity and truth of this great gospel coming out of our Bible. Coming out of our Bible ain't nothing but good news for who? The children of Israel. Good news for the children of Israel. We're watching what a transition. A translation of one kingdom that's about to be handed over to who? Our people. The power and strength of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and that's why Yahushai is coming back in lightning speed to come reclaim what was left, what's his inheritance, what belongs to him, right? The people on the earth itself, right? That's what the Lord Heavenly Father gave to his son. These people on earth don't realize, man, look, your kingdom is over. Your kingdom is through. Right? Let's get this verse. 2 Ezra 16 and 35. It says, hear now these things. Right? It says, hear now these things. And understand them, ye servants of the Lord.
Hey everyone, good to see you here. Let me ask you, did you know that since 1976, there have been about 20 funding gaps in the U.S. budget process, but only around half of those actually turned into full shutdowns where large numbers of federal workers were furloughed? And here's the part that surprises a lot of people. Every single time it happens, the effects ripple out far beyond Washington. We're talking about paychecks, services, and everyday life being thrown off balance. It's not just a headline on the news. It's something that can touch your family, your neighbors, or even you. So, stick around with me, because understanding how this works and what it really means can help you feel a little more prepared for this. Not just a headline on the news. It's something that can touch your family, your neighbors, or even you. So, stick around with me, because understanding...
Right, and that's the problem. These people don't understand what's going on. They don't understand what's going on with all the signs, right? With all the things that done happened over, we could say, since 9/11. Right, since 9/11, that was the beginning of kind of the end. Even before that, right? The scripture says once they gonna go into the heavens, right? That's when the Lord's gonna bring them down. But really, Esau, he came back after the 80s with the credit card, right? Business booming. They thought they were doing great, but guess what? After 9/11, it was a wrap. Right after 9/11, that was what 2001. You go to 2008, the housing collapse. Right, you go to 2019. What is that? The C-19. Okay, you are in 2025. You're looking at military tanks in different cities across America. Right. What else? You're looking at a government shutdown. Right. It says, "Hear now these things, and understand them, ye servants of the Lord." Verse 35. It says, verse 36. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Right? These fake deities, right? Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake, right? It says, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Right? Not everybody's a servant of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right? You got to be part of that 144,000. Right? The house of David. Let's call it the house of David. The elect, right? Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it, and believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth. Great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Right, that's why it's constant fucking terror happening in Babylon the Great. It's constant bad news.
These teens are charged with conspiracy to commit a mass Columbine-style school shooting. Connor Pruitt, 13, and his 14-year-old buddy Philip Bird were allegedly planning to target their middle school in Lehigh Acres, Florida. The arrest happened after an 8th grade teacher got a tip from a student at the school that one of the boys had a gun in his backpack. When the backpack was opened, no gun was found, but police say there was a map with markings allegedly showing the exact location of all of the surveillance cameras in the school.
So the only way we're going to make America a better country for all of us to live in is if we address the root causes of these problems. America doesn't have a race problem. It has a problem race. September of 2025 has been a wild month. In just the past 3 weeks, we have had 7 mass shootings. So let's start on September 10th. As we all know by now, Charlie Kirk got put on a t-shirt by Tyler Robinson. That same day, 16-year-old Desmond Holly shot up a Colorado school, killing 2 people and injuring more. September 17th, Matthew Ruth, he killed 3 police officers and injured 2 in Pennsylvania. September 20th, Hunter Nador shoots up a country club, killing 1 and injuring more. September 24th, Joshua John shoots up a Dallas ICE immigration center, killing 1 and injuring 2. September 27th, a former Marine, Nigel Edge, kills 3 people and injures 8 at a waterfront bar in North Carolina. And September 28th, another veteran, Thomas Sanford, rams his truck into a Michigan church, puts it on fire, kills 4 people and injures 8. None of them were black, a Muslim, an immigrant, all white men. Now let's put...
Yes, let's read it again. This is the book of 2nd Ezra. Bear with me. 2nd Ezra 16 verse 35, it says, "Hear now these things, and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it, believe it. Receive it, believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment." Right? They're going to keep coming. Right? It's going to continue to increase with these Edomites terrorizing Babylon the Great. You're going to have the 2/3, they're going to turn up. It's going to turn into civil unrest. More troops in the cities, right? More shit being shut the fuck down, especially with the shutdown, right? That means no food stamps, no certain Medicaid and government assistance, subsidies. Yeah, you ain't gonna get that shit. These people, they about to turn up. "Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side," right? On every side. That's why the scripture says, "Oh my people, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth," right? It's going to get so bad, you have to flee from one city to the next. You're going to have to change your place of living, right, due to the conditions in those cities. Right? Ain't no food, ain't no security, ain't no safety. The Lord give you a chance to get the fuck out that city. Right? You get the fuck out that city. Right? That's why it says, don't flee, don't turn back. Right? Don't return back to your house. That's how bad it's going to be. Right? The scriptures speak, "A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able," but certain men are going to be able to escape, be preserved from what these said perils. Right? It says, "He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose." Right? You're wasting your time. Ain't no time for business. I'm about to open a business. Your business finna get robbed. Right? Guess what? The city's so fucked up, ain't nobody coming in that neighborhood to buy and do business with you. Right? This is no time to be a businessman. Right? This time to be a spiritual man. Right? It says, "He that occupieth merchandise, as he that hath no profit buyeth." You ain't gonna make no money. You ain't gonna make no money. "Yeah, brother, I'm about to sell some shoes. Hey, brother, I'm about to open up something." You ain't about to open up a goddamn thing, right? It says, "The doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low."
Exactly a shutdown even is. The government runs on money that Congress has to approve each year. Think of it like paying the electric bill. If you don't pay, the lights go out. In this case, if lawmakers can't agree on a spending bill, funding stops for what's called non-essential operations. That doesn't mean the whole government disappears, but it does mean a lot of things grind to a halt. Now, what does this mean in real terms? Well, for federal workers and members of the military, it often means missed paychecks. Many of them are still considered essential, which means they must continue to show up for duty even while their pay is delayed. Think about TSA agents at the airport, air traffic controllers, border agents, or firefighters on military bases. The work continues, but the paycheck may not show up on time. Imagine doing a tough, stressful job like keeping the skies safe and not knowing when your paycheck is coming. That's the reality during these periods. It's coming. That's the reality during these periods. And it doesn't stop there. If you're wondering about Social Security, Medicare, or Veterans Health Benefits, those still continue because they're funded separately. But here's the catch. The people who answer phones, fix errors, or process new applications may be furloughed. That means delays. So, yes, your check still comes, but if something goes wrong with it, good luck getting it fixed quickly. And And guess what? That's one of the most common concerns I hear in the comments.
Yeah, this ain't no good time for these people, man, here in Babylon the Great at all. Right? And they gonna feel that trickle-down effects of what them birth pains. The continual sorrows, the continual sufferings, the continual closures of stores and businesses, the continual shoot-ups of churches and schools and shopping malls and grocery stores due to angry white people, angry Edomites. Esau on 10 right now. Esau is losing his society, and he's taking his anger out on what other peoples, right? Other peoples. That's even the elites. The elites, right? It says the book of Ecclesiastes 12 verse 1. It says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth." I'm talking to you Israelites. You better wake your punk asses up and return back to your power before you be part of this fucking collateral damage that's about to be happening. There's about to be a lot of dead ass Israelites. A lot of dead ass Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans and speckled birds around the motherfucking world because what, they didn't want to wake they punk asses up. Well, really, the Lord didn't wake them up. The Lord didn't. They're not part of the elect, right? Ecclesiastes 12:1. "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them." And these people got no pleasure in their motherfucking lives right now. Unemployed, underemployed, right? This motherfucker's making all type of money. Ain't got no satisfaction, no happiness, no woman, no husband, no children, no nothing, just nothingness, right? Because that's what the Spirit has been taken away. It says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth," right? "While the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun, or the light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain." It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders," what the grinders cease, because there are few, less jobs, less places to apply for work, less businesses, "and those that look out the windows be darkened." And it says what? "And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low." The Bible also says there shall be no work for Egypt. Like the Lord about to shut all this shit the fuck down. Like DJ T ain't playing around. He's on business.
I am proud. I will shut down the government.
Okay,
absolutely. And I am proud, and I'll tell you what,
disagree.
I am proud to shut down the government for border security, Chuck, because the people of this country don't want criminals and people that have lots of problems and drugs pouring into our country. So I will take the mantle. I will be the one to shut it down. I'm not going to blame you for it. The last time you shut it down, it didn't work. I will take the mantle of shutting.
How do you see the thing? How are we going to get out of this?
Well, Johnny, I think that one of the things is that people keep looking to government for the answer, and government's the problem. First of all, the American people, if they would just take a little inventory and look around, you triple our troubles, and we're better off than any other people on earth. And we've asked so much of government, and we've gotten in the habit over the last 40 years of thinking that government has the answers. There's very little that government can do as efficiently and as economically as the people can do themselves. And if government would shut the doors and sneak away for about 3 weeks, we'd never miss them.
Martin Luther King said that a leader is not a searcher of consensus, they're a molder of consensus. This country needs to shut down and you all need to suffer. I told you to go on a general strike. You know what you said? I have a job. I can't afford to. I have a job. I can't afford to. I can't afford to. That's cool. Great. So now you're going to be forced to be uncomfortable. You're going to be forced to lose your job. You were unwilling to be uncomfortable. When you look at the civil rights movement, they were all uncomfortable. Solitary confinement. Look what happened to John Lewis. Kaepernick lost his job. Many people were beaten and mistreated, but not white Americans. Nope. I can't afford to. Oh, I don't want to be uncomfortable. Oh, I have a job. Look what happened to John Lewis. Kaepernick lost his job. Many people were beaten and mistreated, but not white Americans. Nope. I can't afford to. Oh, I don't want to be uncomfortable. Oh, I have a job. Yeah. That's called white privilege, and that's what you're still hiding behind is your whiny little shit. Me. Look what happened in Nepal. They stood up, and they took them out of power. You don't think those people live paycheck to paycheck? You think they're all rich? No. They did what was necessary to stop what was happening to their country, but you're not even willing to be financially uncomfortable. So now you're going to be forced to. Yes, I hope the Democrats find a backbone and don't shut it down. Do I have any faith in them? No, none, zero. But this country needs to go through this. And remember this for the people that chose to be privileged and not to be uncomfortable, how you stood behind it and watched people in concentration camps, women losing their pregnancies, people passing away. You saw people getting their arms dislocated. You saw women and men having their families broke up after 40 or 50 years, good people, and you stood by and goes, well, that really sucks, but I'm not going to stand up for them because I have to worry about myself. They're just a stranger. Cool. Then you remember that when you lose your goddamn job because you choose to sit there and watch other people suffer while you lived off of your crumb. Cool. Then you remember that when you lose your goddamn job because you choose to sit there and watch other people suffer while you lived off of your crumbs.
Yes, back to Ecclesiastes 12 and 4. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And who's the most employed person in Babylon the Great? It's Esau, Edom, the wicked, right? And they got those high-paid jobs, right? Because you see, they been got rid of the black woman from the working force. They've been got rid of the migrants from the workforce. Who's that last number? Who's that last dwindling number? It's these Edomites, man, who think they on top. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Right? And it's only going to get worse. Isaiah 19 and 15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail branch or rush may do. The Lord's about to shut it all down. Right? And don't forget, everything, it's like a domino effect, right? The birth pains. Right? You've seen that C-19, they had shut the earth down for damn near, 2 years, whatever that was. That caused a lot of people to lose things. What else? You've seen what's going on between America and China. You see the tariffs causing more businesses to close. Canada not doing too much business with America. Mexico not doing too much business with America. Right? Really, America's being kind of cut off from the world. Right? Let's go back. Isaiah 19. And 1, it says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. Right? And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Right? The religions are dying, right? Nobody give a damn about no Christianity. That's a dying-ass religion here in Babylon the Great. You done seen the white boy. He done what the white boy do?
Please click to subscribe. I wanted to give you the latest on 2 really heartbreaking shootings that happened over the last couple of days, and police say disturbed war veterans were responsible for both. In Michigan, 4 people were killed and 8 hurt after a man shot up the Mormon church and then set the church on fire. Just an insane story. In Michigan, 4 people were killed and 8 hurt after a man shot up the Mormon church and then set the church on fire.
Right, the idols of Egypt, man, ain't nobody thinking about no religion, man. And guess what? That currency is dying. That's something else they worshipped. right? A religion, the currency, the women. Nobody give a damn about these fucking women. These wicked ass, filthy, polluted cum buckets. Ain't nobody think about these women, right? Don't nobody want to go to work no more. Nobody give a fuck, right? People are talking about living off grid, escaping society, right? Because this place is fucking dying. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother. Right? Prepare for this fucking fight. Right? And everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, right? A straight collapse, right? Survival of the fittest, fighting for the last of whatever's left, right? And the end game is what? Nuclear missiles being shot from one country to another, right? One country to another. It says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fall, right? Salaki, the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. And I will destroy the counsels thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts.
How many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
Well, we made you a lot, and that's only because of the Democrats. And as you know, they want to be able to take care of people that have come into our country illegally, and no system can handle that. And so we're totally opposed on that. But we can't take it. We just can't do it. I'd love to do everybody. I'd love to do the whole world. But our country can't handle people that come into our country illegally. And they want to give them full health care benefits. They want to open the wall again. Can you believe it? I can't even believe it. They want to open the wall. They haven't taken away boys playing in women's sports. They haven't done that. Men playing in women's sports. It's like they don't change. They lost an election in a landslide, and they don't change.
Government, if you give billions of dollars to healthcare funding for illegal aliens. That is what has actually happened. Hold on. You're saying that the Democrats, in their meeting with you and the president, said, we will only open the government if you give billions of dollars of healthcare funding to illegal aliens? They said to us, we will open the government, but only if you give billions of dollars of funding for healthcare for illegal aliens. That's a ridiculous proposition. Yes, I agree. That is a ridiculous proposition. It is also a ridiculous lie. If you go to the ACA's own website, which, by the way, is managed by Trump's federal government, it says, quote, undocumented immigrants can't get marketplace health coverage. And that's a point that's been proven time and time again. Not a dime of federal funds for health care are available for undocumented immigrants. Can't get marketplace health coverage. And that's a point that's been proven time and time again. Not a dime of federal funds for health care are available for undocumented immigrants. So where did this lie come from? There's no way that all of these people would stake their credibility on a bald-faced lie.
This is the book of 1 Peter 5 and 8. Right, it says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Right, and everybody is in his target. Military, right? Congress, right? Politicians, lawyers, judges, right? Citizens, right? This is more than ever. You need Hu Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You need that protection, right? Why? Because the days are evil. Shalom.